Good, what's good, everybody? Welcome to another edition of It's Bigger Than Hip Hop. I'm your host, Jeff Hodges. As always, you know, we continue to bring you what you need. As we have always, beautiful and great guests come through, and soon we'll get our guests in the building. In the meantime, how's everybody doing out there? Atlanta, how's it going with this beautiful weather? Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in live and in the archive. What's up, everybody out there on the Facebook world? Definitely appreciate you. You know, we got a real big one for you tonight. Tonight on that second half, we're going to get it in with author and entrepreneur Benjamin Graham, better known as BigMouthBen. Atlanta, y'all already know. So we're going to talk about some transformation and how you can make your life do what it do if you just focus. You know, it's all about the focus. I want to thank y'all again that all has been following this journey. As y'all know, we've been doing some things and we got some really special guests and we're really excited about that'll be coming through from here on to June, man. It's going down. You heard? It's bigger than hip hop. And you tuned in right now, like always, live here on IHEARTRADIO. Make sure y'all check us out over there at IBTHHRADIO.com. You can always see what's going on and stay abreast. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
What's going on, you guys? It's your girl Mariah Love, and you're tuning in. It's Bigger Than Hip Hop with Jeff, and you got two beautiful ladies on here. Okay, I'm just saying, like, go ahead, girl, introduce yourself.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Shauna here on It's Bigger Than Hip Hop Radio. You guys, I'm so happy to be back this week.
Yes.
Here last week, we're back this week, and you know we're coming in with the hot topics.
Always, that's what we do. And you already know it's your girl Mariah Love. Like I said, you go to I go to Kennesaw State right now. I'm a junior. Majoring in journalism and emerging media with a certificate in music and entertainment and business. I'm ready to graduate. Trying to be like Shauna, you know, trying to do big things like Shauna.
Hey, listen, man. To the words of my girl Cardi B, what they say, knock down, get up 10, right?
Okay, I am so in love with Cardi B. Let's just talk about Cardi B right now because her album, I'm not even gonna lie, is popular.
Invasion of Privacy, guys. Now, if you don't know, Invasion of Privacy has already went gold. Now, It went gold on its first day being released, making her history. Like, this is the only person
She's on the top of the Billboard charts as well. So, definitely just shout out to Cardi B. Like, she's doing her thing, and I'm really tired of people knocking her, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't knock her hustle. She's doing her thing, for real.
Now, speaking of knocking hustle, everyone, we're going to talk about this. So, recently, Cardi B did an interview in which everyone was judging her because, as we all know, she's now expecting a baby with Migos group Offset, member Offset. Now, everyone is saying, Cardi, you're too young. Your career is now popping off. And her argument is, hey, I have my career. I'm getting married, right? Why can't I have my baby? So, what do you think about that now? Can women have success and a family at the same time?
Of course. I definitely believe that is true. Women are strong individuals. Like, we are so strong. Like, people don't understand how strong, especially black women are, you know? And, you know, let's just look at Kendall. Kendall just had her baby. Why can't she be successful and have a child, but Cardi can't be successful and have a child? Like, you know, that's crazy. So I definitely think Cardi B is just going to be successful overall, and her child's going to be beautiful. Do you know if it's like a girl or a boy or not
So
yet?
it's been hinting around. She's been receiving a lot of gifts, and the gifts are more headed towards girls. It's a girl, and Offset has done a few things hinting towards it being a girl as well as Cardi B. Now, if you guys, speaking of Cardi B, I don't know if you all caught her Ellen DeGeneres interview, where she was speaking about her Coachella performance, which was amazing. Now, Cardi did not let pregnancy stop her from getting on that stage and showing the way she performed for her album. Now, Ellen asked her, Cardi, why were you twerking? And she responded, I just wanted to show you guys how I got pregnant in the first place.
I love Cardi. That is like the realest response that you're going to get from her, too. Like, she's so real, and I love that about her. That's what's up.
Yes. Now, one thing that's been a big thing is this whole Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B thing.
Over it.
Right? Which brings us to our next topic. And guys, feel free to call in and chime in on us, all right? Why is it that we can support 5 different African-American artists who are men, but when it comes down to 2 women who are in the rap game, we always have to pick and choose? Why we gotta do that?
It literally makes no sense. Like, I'm so confused on why people do that because, you know, I support Nicki, I support Cardi as well. So I just don't understand why we can't all just support women and just like how we support our men in the industry. It's crazy.
Right, my girl Nicki, now she's claiming that Cardi B didn't pay homage to her when she first came out.
Yes.
In which I didn't see in the interview in which Cardi B kind of didn't pay homage to her. So
Right.
what do you think about that?
I mean, I thought about that too because I know Tory Lanez had a similar situation where she was supposed to actually be a feature on his song, and then I believe there was some miscommunication, and she was like, "Nah, drop me." So like, okay,
That's the different verse thing.
yeah, the different verse thing. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know, but I'm just gonna say both of the ladies are doing their thing. So shout out to them.
Right.
And let's just continue their success.
Right.
But speaking of Coachella, though, did you see Beyonce's performance?
Of course.
My God. It was really, really good. Like, people were staying up until 4 o'clock in the morning just to watch her.
People were calling it Beachella.
Beachella.
Yes. And they also calling her Queen of Wakanda.
Yes. Oh my God.
Queen of Wakanda. Now, speaking of Coachella, speaking of Beyonce, a lot of people were saying she should have just did it by herself and could have left the Jay-Z thing alone. Now, what do you think about that? I thought he did good.
I thought he did good too. And I mean, come on. Like, Jay-Z's her man. Like, why would she not want to do a performance with her man? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
have songs together.
Exactly.
It made the
They have a whole family together.
They have a whole family together. So it's like, why not share this moment? But a lot of people were not happy with that.
Yeah, people are very particular about what they want to see and how they want to see it.
Plus, they about to go on tour.
Overall, the show was really, really good.
They about to go on tour, ain't they?
Yeah, and they
Yes.
just released tour dates for On the Run 2.
Yes.
They also added tour dates to what they originally put out. So she's gonna bring her man out there, okay? She's gonna bring her man out there. Cardi B keep putting Offset names in songs. It's like nowadays it's a thing for when you're in a relationship in the industry to just talk about your person, bring them on, and make that bag together, right? Is that something wrong with that?
I mean, I personally wouldn't do it if I was an artist, just because you never know, like break up or something. I wouldn't do it, you know what I'm saying?
But they're bringing attention to both
I mean,
y'all.
I'll make a song about you, you know what I'm saying, about how I love you and all that, but
That's doing the same thing. That's doing the same thing.
that's not the same thing
It is.
because no, it's just I don't like it. Like Chris Brown doing the whole Karuchi thing, and then Big Sean does it too.
See, now he
and
did
then-
bring her name up to a whole nother level.
Yes, like it was just weird. I was listening to the song and then he just I don't know where Karuchi, and I was like, whoa, like
Facts. And he was making that was a love, but you talking about?
I know, like, did you just say my name? Like, I don't know. But, I mean, you know, to each his own.
I feel like
True,
the only
true.
thing that can go wrong with making a song with your significant other is if you all break up. Like we had the whole
Yes.
Sierra and Future thing.
Yes.
They
Both of
have
them
to
had a
continue
really big
to,
name.
yeah.
And they brought both of them up.
It did. It really did.
Well, then they were stuck performing those songs and they're not together no more.
Right,
Like
like-
Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj with the whole All Eyes on Me.
True.
They have to
I do like
perform
that
that
I ain't
song.
even think about that.
Yeah, they have
That's
to
a
perform
And that was a hit
song.
too, yup. Facts. He got to keep on thinking about her.
Right. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. But, I mean, if you make, like, other songs, of course, and, like, you know, some, like, songs you can just party to, that's fine. And hopefully, you know, you can just get over the love songs and stuff.
All right, and so once again, guys, speaking of all of this, social media has always been a big part of our generation now, and it has become a big part of relationships. Nowadays, people are saying if you don't showcase your significant other on social media, it doesn't make the relationship real. Now, here at It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, we're going to talk about that. So you guys call in, let us know what you guys think. Why is it if your man doesn't, or your girl, doesn't showcase you on social media, how does that take away from the relationship?
That's a very good question.
Now for me, yes, it does. I want you to broadcast me. I want everyone to know, yes, this is who I'm dealing with. This is the situation. Because if you don't, then people don't know. I want to be known. What about you?
Okay, well, I'm gonna just say, like, I'm a private person. Like, no one really knows what I got going on unless I let you know what I got going on, period. So, I like to keep my relationship pretty private, if I have one, you know. But I am single, so, you know, come at me, I'm ready. But, I just say for real, like, I think the more private, the better, because once people start knowing about your relationship, they're gonna just start trying to just get at you and, like, just really mess up your relationship.
It
So
can
I
bring
really think
good
you
and
should
bad
be
attention
careful.
to it.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta be careful because people are making lies, rumors, and it's gonna just hurt your relationship at the end, and that's really something that you don't need to have. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, man. I feel like it's what you make it. You can
Right.
use it to an advantage, and then sometimes it is a disadvantage. Like the whole
Yes.
Tristan Thompson thing.
Yes.
Social media has ruined his thing with Chloe. I mean, because everything's came out. There's always cameras everywhere, and it's like now as a public figure, you just always have to be mindful. There's always a picture. There's always a tweet, and
Always.
you're gonna be out there some kind of way.
Yes, but thank you guys so much for just having us for like, what was that, 15 minutes already? That went by quick. I swear that was like 5 minutes. Y'all cheating us, but
Time
it's
flies
okay.
when you're having fun, guys.
Shauna, thank you for
Yes.
having this conversation with me. I had a lot of fun.
We're gonna continue to have these conversations, more shows, guys. It's bigger than hip hop. We out of here.
Here it is. Good job, ladies. Good job. You know, it's another edition of It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, where we sit down and have them higher, infinite power, healing our people type conversations. And guess what? Tonight is no different. My special guest in the building, Benjamin Graham, a.k.a. BigMouthBen, here to share with us an account of his spiritual journey in life from a homeless crackhead addict to a prominent business owner and author. Welcome to the show, Ben.
Hey man, what's going on? What's going on? It's an honor to be here. I thank you for the invite. I'm grateful.
Nah, it's definitely an honor and pleasure to have you. And you know, as always, I had the opportunity to meet you and hearing your story. It was like, wow, this brother here is definitely an awesome individual. And we created a platform for people just like yourself. We talk about transformation and letting people know it could be done.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much my calling now, man. That's how I stay sober. That's how I stay active and alive and fulfilled, is by letting people know that you can transform.
Indeed, indeed. So as I mentioned in regards to you once being an addict, talk about how did how did the road of your recovery begin?
Well, I got beat down a lot. I think the road of my recovery began with a spiritual awakening.
Right.
You know, after 17 years of getting high and struggling, and you know, my last 5 years of my addiction, I slept under the bridge on Auburn Avenue. Mm-hmm. And you know, one evening I just sat up and I just looked around. I said, "It's got to be more to life than this." You know, I had a conversation with God. You know, and I was very spiritual. I grew up in the church. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of, strayed away and, got into the streets, trapping back in the early 90s, and eventually got on the stuff. And finally, after all this and all the success I had before, I said to God, I said, it had to be more to life than this. And it was that time God answered back. He was like, it is.
Okay.
He said, he promised to love me wherever I wanted to be. If I wanted to be under that bridge getting high, he'll love me. He said if I wanted to go to prison, he'll love me there. But he said it's up to me where I want to be loved. And after that, I felt this lift in my spirit, and I began to get curious as to what life held for me if I could put down that pipe.
No question, no question. Now, you kind of segue into my next question in regards to love. When did you realize or begin to love yourself enough to make that decision to, change your life?
It took some reprogramming.
Yeah.
I tell people, and especially our people, because our people have a natural bitterness. Mm-hmm. We have a right to. We've been through a lot. But it's poison to us if we hold on to certain things. And I contribute my addiction and my mental illness to a couple of childhood traumas.
Right.
I was molested at the age of 6. I was abused by my uncle, and different things like that. That once I did start getting high, I began to hate myself even more. Mm-hmm. And at one time, I was clean for 6 months, and I ended up back down on Auburn Avenue getting high. And I was so sick of myself that I sat down on Bell Street and I cut my wrist. Mm-hmm. And as the blood was coming out down my hand and going on the sidewalk, I heard the voice inside me say, "Call 911, I put you here for a reason." And at that point I was housed, and I was diagnosed with major depressive disorder. I was treated for with antidepressants, and once again, I still ended up back in the streets getting high. But it was that spiritual awakening that came to me and said, it's up to my choices You know, I say, you know, I wonder what would happen if I'm going to give myself this chance to see how far can I go. Let me see if I just put down the dope for a year. Where could I go in a year? And I began the journey. It wasn't as easy as that because it was crazy. You know, I spoke at the juvenile court last week, and I shared that right after I had that conversation with God, I jumped on my bicycle, went to go sell my snacks, and I found a whole bag full of drugs.
Wow.
Found. I said I couldn't have had that kind of luck
Right,
when I was
right.
getting high if I tried. But the thing is, once again, I snapped, and you know, I was like, well, I'll try this tomorrow. Right now, I'm straight. And before I can even get to the drugs and get somewhere where I got picked up for a warrant. They had a warrant because I hadn't showed up for treatment. You know, I promised the judge I was going to go to treatment. But what I'm getting at is that once I started to undergo some type of treatment, some type of cognitive therapy, some reprogramming of my mind, I was assured that I was somebody special. And I began to see that I was somebody special. And as a result, I started to act accordingly. You know, now I'm locked in. You know, and I know there's difference of opinion for people. Some people in recovery, some hold on to that title forever. You know, some, you know, I don't even count no more because it's a way of life.
Exactly.
You know, I couldn't give you my exact clean date because it's a way of life for me.
It's a done deal.
I don't have a reason to count.
No doubt.
So I don't count. And so I love myself. I love my life, and I'm in my passion. I'm in my purpose, and it's so fulfilling.
Exactly.
You know, so I guess that part that's the key for anybody at the beginning to love yourself and care for yourself and know that you're queens and kings, and that you were put here for a reason. There's not one person on this earth breathing that's here for nothing.
Exactly. And I gotta concur. Now, with all that, you definitely compiled your experiences in this great book called The Book of Benjamin. Talk about what a person who may have been in your experience can utilize from that book to make the same changes.
I think what the book is going to do is going to do what some of the books of the Bible do. And I named it as one of that. I named it The Book of Benjamin.
Right.
Just like the Book of Job or the book, you know. I did that because it was my journey, my spiritual awakening, and my relationship with God as I went through this. I had the spiritual upbringing, you know, and I still, throughout the way of the world, I fell prey to my own choices. And then I found my way back, and so anybody reading this will surely be inspired. Most people that read the book, they read it in two settings.
Okay.
And they're like, it gets better, it gets better, it gets worse, it gets better, it gets worse. When is it gonna get better? I'm proud of it because I just wrote, you know, my story down. I didn't go take special classes for, you know, book writing. I wrote it. It was edited, and we had a company publish it, and it's having a great impact.
No doubt. Now, I can't help but, you know, recognize, you know, there's an expression behind every great man is a great woman.
Yeah.
And there's this young lady that's always on your team, and there's some history, and, you know, tell us a little bit about that and how she's been very inspirational.
Oh, my God, man. You know, I try to change that phrase, and I say beside, because,
yeah, I can dig it. Yeah,
you know, your ribs are beside you. You know, your ribs are here. They're not, you know, and so she is my missing rib. We were college sweethearts. We met at the University of Georgia, and we dated for a few years. And I was into music, so I had a record out. Okay, and so I quit school. You know, I thought I was going to blow up as a rapper, and so I left the University of Georgia, and we lost touch for those 24 years.
Wow.
But once I began my sober journey, my journey of recovery, and started moving forward, I started to recover. And a relationship was one of those. You know, we was on social media, and we found each other and inboxed and set up a date. And people always laugh because the first date, man, I'm so serious about where I'm headed now, and I'm so determined. I get to the dinner table and I lay everything out before her in 30 minutes. I said, I used to be strung out. And she got up and said, I got to go use the bathroom. And man, I put my head down. I said, she done went. She's going out the back door.
She out of here.
But she she stayed, and she said that actually sealed the deal, the honesty and the transparency.
Right.
And so she has been a major part of my life. She's been that helper. She's been support system. She's been there. She's definitely a blessing from God.
No question. Now, there's a yellow bike.
Yeah.
It's a story about a yellow bike. Share with my listeners about that amazing yellow bike that you still got to today.
Yeah, the yellow bike is now the store logo. The yellow bike is the brand. Is when you see the yellow bike, that represents BigMouthBen. The bike wasn't always yellow. It wasn't always a bike. You know, I started selling my snacks out of a wheelchair that I used to be in. I don't know if I'm getting ahead, but
Nah, you in the right spot.
okay. I worked on the back of a garbage truck, and through a day labor, you know, because I couldn't work a regular job with the addiction. So day labor, they pay you that day, and you go do what you got to do that day and come back the next day. So I worked on the back of the garbage truck, and he was backing down a cul-de-sac, and he saw 2 dump trucks, but there were 3, and he bagged me into the 3rd one. Instantly crushed my pelvis. I heard the bones crush, all my bowels released, and I passed out. I awakened a few seconds later screaming. I mean, it was so much pain. And yeah, if you told me to do it again, I was guaranteed to come out like this for $1 billion, I couldn't do it. It was so much pain, and the only thing connecting my top and bottom was the spinal cord. I have a bar here now that connects my legs. So I was confined to that wheelchair, and for about a year, and finally I got determination, God's healing. I got the strength to walk again. And I took that same wheelchair and I put a cooler in it, and I put snacks on it, and I started pushing around selling snacks. I came up with the name BigMouthBen because I was advertising for people. I say, BigMouthBen, if you want to sell it, let me tell it. So people would put their car wash flyers, their open mic flyers, or whatever they had going on my wheelchair. And I would push it around and sell water, ice cold water, open mic tonight at Powell's, you know. And I would, say the flyer. I would talk about the flyer while I was walking around downtown. So then I designed the bike, but the bike didn't become yellow until I was about a year clean. At that point, I knew it was my purpose to brighten people's lives. So the yellow, I was walking through Walmart, and I saw some yellow duct tape, and the Spirit said, put that on the bike, because you're going to represent the sunshine, the bright people light. And I covered that bike, and it was so funny because the first time people saw it, they just stared at it. And they said, it looked kind of cool, it looks weird, it's cool. And when I get on the train with it, people just look at it, and people are like, I like that. You know, ever since then, it's been all over Atlanta. It's been Instagrammed and all this other stuff, and it's been the way I got around. And when the bike became yellow, I was sober.
And we're back. It's Bigger Than Hip Hop. I'm your host, Jeff Hodges, sitting with my very special guest, BigMouthBen. Y'all know him from Atlanta. Doing his thing, entrepreneur and author. Here to talk about some amazing transformation, but in addition to that, you've been an artist doing your thing with the music, and you also utilize that in your speaking engagements when you go out to the youth.
Absolutely.
Definitely got some good messages in your music.
Thank you.
And we got something here today, so we're going to kick off a little something.
All right.
Introduce that joint Businessman.
Okay.
I know a little about that.
All right, BigMouthBen. I wrote the song
Sure.
Businessman. It actually tells my story,
We're going to play the song.
and actually encourages people that, what I want the people to realize is that a lot of times we get in the street and we think it's the dope that bring us to success. But,
Right.
it's really our hustle and our ability to hustle. You can do the same thing with water. You can do the same thing. It's your drive. And what I did with that song is I wanted people to know that if you can make it in the streets,
Right.
you can make it as a businessman. So I start out, first verse, I talk about how I did. Let me take you back to 1993. I was trapping in Atlanta 1993. 3 months later, kicked my door in. Got me and my trap buddies on the floor, man. But anyway, music is my passion. I love music, and I love using it as a part of my speaking engagements. I got some confirmation. I was over at Turner AME, man, and these kids, I did a song for them, and they was feeling me. So, and I told them, I said, just because I'm older don't make me. Yeah, you can't. I've been doing this longer than you, so you got to give me some respect, So, but it was awesome, man. They really were touched. And then when they heard the music, they were like, wow. You spend, you know, so.
Introduce it to us right now.
All right, we're about to listen to Businessman, BigMouthBen. Oh, there it is. All right.
You know, it's
Legitimate business man. I'm a business man. Legitimate business man. Shop on the block, running from the cops. Start a prison search, gun store for the merch. I'm a business man. Legitimate business man. Now let me take you back to 1993. I was trapping in Atlanta, 1993. Months later, kick my dope in. Got me my trap buddies on the floor, man.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what hit me, it came out of nowhere. Handles on me sometimes, I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, it's different. Like, there's a few schools back in my hometown. But, do you know what they is? Yeah, definitely. But there's one in, there's one in Fayetteville. Like, when I say it does not taste the same. Yeah. It's good.
Legitimate business man. Legitimate business man. Shop on the block, running from the cops. Start a prison search, gun store for the merch. All of business man. Legitimate business man.
Hey, Joe. You still got somebody calling in?
So easy, man, just go and sell it. The problem is these haters, they gon' go and tell it. And if they don't, they rob it. I'll probably kill it. Or worse, I've got connections in that federal building. It's a dirty game, and I'm not trying to play it. I tried it already, and I did not make it. 17 years I was on the pipe, which means 17 years on my whole life. I know y'all out there going through the same thing. Year after year playing that same game. Take a step back, come with the plan. If you made it in the streets, you can make it as a business man. Legitimate business man. I'm a business man. Legitimate business man. Shop on the block, running from the cops. Start a prison search, gun store for the merch. I'm a business man. Legitimate business man. BigMouthBen, your motivation, entertainer. Listen, my PSA for all my hustlers out here. Listen, it ain't what you simply got to get rich. It's you, it's your drive, your determination, your hustle. It can be anything. So in other words,
That's right, you legit stay free.
yeah, that was Businessman.
Alright. Official. Talk about businessman. We always, we started out talking about, you being homeless, sleeping on the block of Auburn Avenue, and on that same block, you started your own business there. You got your store, BigMouthBen.
Yeah.
Talk about, creating your nonprofit organization and the things that you guys offer there in addition to, the products.
Well, we started the business in 2014. And, even from the first day we opened, we were doing outreach. We were doing outreach even before we opened. Having a relationship with most of the people in the street because I was out there with them. And, we wanted to, we founded Motivation Forward to motivate people forward. People were inspired to move forward, but we know in order to do that, they need, a person needs to be assisted. It's hard to tell a person that they can do something that right now they're just hungry.
Right.
Right now they're not thinking about anything but something to eat. And then after they get something to eat, maybe they can think about the next step. But, we try to plug in wherever we can. We just minister wherever there's a need. We've closed our store sometime and took people to treatment.
Right.
We've just had situations we just had to step up and do what we were led to do.
Absolutely.
So Motivation Forward is an outreach organization that assists those that are struggling with similar issues, addiction, mental illness, or just in need. And we try to do that either through case management, referral. We partner with other agencies. I have one treatment ministry that will come and pick them up wherever they're at. They said I just call them. I say, if you're ready, I got somebody to come get you right now, give you a room, and you can start your journey. And I've had a person that was ready, just last week, and we made the phone call. And God bless, he's probably on his way now,
Absolutely.
To recovery. So it's just something that's a part of us. We learn some harsh lessons. With people say, when you hear the word non-profit, a lot of times you think, well, since it ain't profit, it ain't work.
Right.
Man, it's just as much work,
If not more.
if not more. Yeah, because you got to work to find the funding. So we went to a few classes at the Foundation Center, and we realized that we are really understaffed, we're underfunded, and we just don't have the resources. Even ourselves, we don't have enough time. We have to run the business, so we still operate it on a case-by-case basis, and so we do that, but now we do it with a little more wisdom and knowing what, a lot of people, you have a desire to help the people, and I'll say that for anybody that's out there listening. You can have a desire to start a nonprofit, or a desire to help those in need, but it's a business.
Right.
And you're going to have to learn that side of it. Or you can just, if you do what you want to do, you can go minister. But if you want to start an organization, there's going to be some things you have to learn. And I would advise you to learn as much as you can. I sit on the board for Partners for Home. And I had no idea how much planning actually goes into shelters and, just making sure the money continues to come through Atlanta. There's a whole team of people that you don't see on a daily basis. I'm on the board with, these people are CEOs, CEO of Mercy Care, the chairman of Gateway, and there's a lot of planning that we sit around the table and do, as opposed to, making sure that the funding is not cut, that how can we make it easier for people to get housing, because of all the barriers. You can't be a felon in certain situations. You got to have ID, and and so a lot of these people get stuck on the outside looking in. But they've made great progress for getting people housing, especially when they closed Peachtree and Pine. A lot of people thought it was going to be bad, but they're actually trying to do a good thing because agencies had to go in there and find somewhere to put them. And some of those guys went from Peachtree and Pine to an apartment.
Okay.
Whereas Peachtree and Pine would still be there, they would still be at Peachtree and Pine.
Which would be a hindrance.
Right. Yeah, so now that's another thing about motivating people forward. My motivation was knowing that I didn't have to wake up every day and look for a hit of crack. When I started, I could wake up normal and eat some breakfast, and watch a little TV and go about my day normal. I used to wake up under that bridge and I didn't want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to even walk the block until I got my wake up, because my body was just that addicted. So you tell a person, like you take a person out of the Peachtree and Pine shelter, and then they start waking up in an apartment, and now they're more motivated to go on through with recovery, because now I'm halfway normal again. But as you sit in that shelter, you like, and that's why, addiction is, people say an active addiction. A lot of times your situation is gloomy. So, sometimes the drinking or the getting high numbs the pain that you're already going through. And so our goal is to get people to see what the other path looks like, and let them know it's possible.
Definitely. Let them know where that store at, where they can get that book at, where they can follow you at on all the social media. BigMouthBen
is the common name on all the social media. You can Google BigMouthBen and everything will come up. The music, the book, the store. One of the first things to come up will be the store and our website. Instagram on BigMouthBen. My wife is Tanya G. You'll see her down on Instagram with me, and also BigMouthBen stores. You can come down to BigMouthBen stores, 370 Auburn Avenue, and I'll personally sign the book for you.
That's what's up.
Yes,
man.
man.
It's definitely been an honor and a pleasure to have you, man.
Yeah,
thank
man,
you
it's
so much.
awesome, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Show them the book so they can see it here on my live. Y'all
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. Go get yourself a copy. The Book of Benjamin. Y'all hear about it. Go check it out. Google. You'll find out all about what transformation, focus, and resiliency is all about. Because everybody got a story to tell, but everybody can't tell it like you. I want to thank all y'all for listening live and all those tuning in the archive. My very special guest in the building, Mr. BigMouthBen. Y'all know I'm here in Atlanta doing this thing. Go check them out over there on Auburn Avenue. I want to thank my ladies over there, Miss Mariah, also Mrs. Shauna. Y'all did y'all thing. Y'all stay tuned. Y'all gonna see more of that. We just did a little, see what you can do in your toes, We gonna make sure we do it. Shout out to my engineer Sean, all those, and also to my new videographer. Y'all gonna meet all my squad. Big up to Greg right there doing this thing. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's Bigger Than Hip Hop. Until next time, y'all stay up, because that's the only way to be. Peace and love, y'all.